Hi everybody, and welcome to Thirstful and Thoughtful Thursdays again. Today, I'd like to take a minute and talk a little bit about how you mix your electrolytes and when you use them and how important that is in getting the results that you want. Now, we've talked a couple of times about tasteability and how to mix the electrolytes on a cap to a cap and see which one suits you best. And right now that reminds me that I need to take a sip of my electrolytes and toast all of you for a successful week and a very enjoyable weekend. Nice and sweet. I kind of like the taste. Okay, so let's move on. We talked about the different ways that this electrolyte concentrate Lyte Balance is really versatile because you can mix it with all kinds of things: juice, water, food, milk, proteins, fats. And here's why this is important. The basic elemental recipe here is sodium, potassium, and magnesium. And when you put those three together, you're only missing one fellow lineman, the calcium. And so when you add a calcium product, now this can be dairy products, milk, kefir, and yogurt. This can be cheeses, cottage cheeses, sour creams. In cooking, you can use it. You can also do this with almond milk, cashew milk, any kind of nut milks, or even rice milk. A lot of these have calcium added and they have fats and proteins in them. And here's why this is important. Well, the top four main electrolytes are calcium, sodium, potassium, and magnesium in your body. Protein is like the fifth electrolyte. And there's a reason that we want to talk about that, because this is what drives storage in your body. If you want to keep your electrolytes and build your battery, I want to explain the best way to do that. And it starts off after we taste and find out that we're a 1 or 2 cap person and how we want to roll with that. Then we look at how we're going to deliver the product. A lot of the conversation I have with people about electrolytes is, oh, you use the electrolytes, high five, thank you very much, that's awesome, how do you like them? Great, how much do you use? Oh, a cap or 2 a day. Okay, and what do you put it in? Water? Okay, that's one way to do it, but you're missing 2 important other ways to do it. But the first thing I want to cover is the 1 to 2 caps and what that looks like in ratio to your weight. All right, I'm 185 pounds. 60% of me is water. So you want to look at that? That's almost 120 pounds of water. At 8 pounds a gallon, that's almost 10, 12, 14 gallons, 15 gallons. So if I stacked up 15-gallon jugs over my body size, you see how that big would be. And I'm thinking that a capful or 2 a day is actually going to treat that volume of water in my body effectively. It's not. The recipe says 1 to 2 capfuls a day, and that's kind of what the law says, but the truth of the matter is you can use as much as you desire and practice with throughout the day, as long as you follow that ratio of a cap to a cup of fluids. Now that we know that, and you consider that 60% of your body weight is fluid, and you want to actually change the consistency and the electricity of that water, and you want to build a charge that gives you energy, or it can actually put and store your battery while you're sleeping. Let's talk about how that works. First of all, you want to treat your water, and you don't want to cheat on it and use a little bit. Go for it. It's good for you. And remember, because this is built with calcium, when you add it, but the rest of the time it's got potassium, sodium, and magnesium, let's cover for a minute what that means. Potassium is all about emotional stress. If you have trouble at work, if you are tired of driving all the time, which is not physically stressful, but you have to pay attention. Emotional and mental stress is actually fed in the potassium circuit. Now, if you're working out and you're sweating a lot, running a lot, you're busy all the time, you're in and out of the car, you're delivering, this kind of thing, this is a sodium exercise. That's physical. Remember, it's muscles clenched is sodium, muscles at rest is potassium. So if you're working your muscles a lot and you're out there pumping all the time, you're going to be looking at sodium. And then the magic of magnesium is the switchability of magnesium, how it goes back and forth and it moves like a wave. And magnesium is what allows them to talk to each other. When you add the calcium, you get a whole nother effect, and that has to do with your skeletal structure and moving into your skeleton. All right, let's talk about the 3 ways that you can use Lyte Balance. The first way we always talk about is something you could do at the beginning of your day, and that would be to add some juice to your electrolyte. Why? Because for rapid rehydration, to get a spark turned on in your body, to add electrolytes and some flavoring, and to turn up the volume, you're going to want to add juice. Why? You'll find the glucose in the juice helps move the electrolyte into the cells, which is automatically going to feed the mitochondria and turn on that cell and wake it up. It's like coffee in a way for your cells. It's a good thing. Okay, and I'm not just talking like orange juice. You could have juice from your favorite juice store. You could go in there and get yourself, go to the juice bar, get a juice. You can grab a can of V8 juice if you want. It's a good vegetable juice. It's got a good mix of nutrients in it. Any juices will jumpstart that body of yours and get you moving. It gives you energy. It actually turns up the volume. That's a way to start the day. As you go through your day, maybe at lunchtime you work out at the gym and you spend, you eat your lunch at 11 at your desk, or you eat before you go and an hour later you go to the gym. Now you're going to be moving and you're going to be moving. You're going to want to use this electrolyte in plain water, just because all we really want is a rinse cycle. We want sweat moving out of our body, we want circulation flowing, and it takes electrolytes to move all that going back and forth. That's how you push the electrolytes. So if all you're doing is electrolytes in water, you're not building and you're not sparking. Juice to spark and begin. Electrolytes in the middle of the day in water to hold and to spin cycle the fluids. It's just like pumping. It's a flow through. It's cleaning. It's adding nutrients. Good stuff. What about recovery? So you start with juice in the morning to prime. You got your performance covered with just fluids. What about recovery? This is where that calcium and the protein and the fat come in. This is where the nut butters or the nut milks come in. This is where you mix it at night. Why did your mom always say a cup of hot chocolate at bedtime? Calcium. Calcium lets the magnesium in your body that you've gathered throughout the day go to work and relax you. In this particular case, you add a little Lyte balance to a little glass of warm milk, a little glass of hot chocolate, and you're going down for a deep sleep. But even better, the sodium in the electrolytes is going to drive into the bone and secure that bone and make it much more durable. If you have any thoughts of osteoporosis or any of those conditions where the bone is giving up sodium to the body, you're putting it back in that rest cycle, and that's what you want to do with that. Also, when you have that, it drives into the tissue for storage on demand. So the magnesium is moving into the tissue, the calcium is moving into the bone. So what you're doing when you rest is building a better cellular battery for your body. Don't be shy. Use that electrolyte all three different ways for different reasons. And when I see you on the street, you can tell me you're using your electrolytes. I think that's really great. And I hope you tell me that you're using them in juice and in milk or dairy or food products that have proteins and fats. Even if it is putting on your salad, which got nuts in it, or you're putting it on your mashed potatoes with butter and a little bit of that's all fine. You're moving it in the right direction. Okay, thanks for listening today. Build your bones, put storage on demand, get recovery going for you using that product with something in the dairy zone or the calcium zone, protein and fats for sure, even if it's your smoothie. Remember, in the daytime performance with fluids, water. You just want to pump that cycle. And in the morning when you want to jumpstart or prime the pump, your favorite juice, green juice, any one of those. Okay, that's the when, the where, and the how. I wish you good luck out there. Have fun. Take care.